Here I am at day 2 at the Learning Technologies. Just had 3 sessions, which was quite interesting. First session was kind of a big type of thinking session. He was looking at AI, applying it a little bit to education, but also kind of applying it to humanity and stuff. Kind of big topics, looking at what the pros and cons are to AI, specifically with education, but generally. Came up with a few ideas though, which we could potentially try at DCIS. An interesting idea was this idea of, as well as having a kind of a network of wires, like a data network, and physically how that looks, to have a people network, where does the data travel between across the organization, not only in terms of, an email and how the email goes from A to B, but how the traffic travels between people. So a people network was one of the takeaways I had from there, which was really an interesting thing to do for DCIS. Have our hierarchical structure, and then map over the other structure of how the other communications happens across DCIS and beyond. So that was quite interesting. The second one was on a discussion from one of the head of training at Network Rail. The head of training at Network Rail had the idea of moving business performance to learning. So the idea is you take the performance of a railway line and you, using data, try and connect that to the learning strategy. So for example, if one line has got lots and lots of delays, and you increase the training in a certain area, then you decrease the delays. So he was trying to link business metrics with training metrics. For DCIS and for what we do, I think it's difficult. I think probably, having thought about this before, you probably have to link capability, unit capability with training, what type of training to do. So, how would the training output unit capability? I think it's very difficult to link performance output in what we do in terms of DCIS and Army training, and link performance outputs with training. I think that's difficult, but I don't know. I thought I'd have a look anyway to see that's kind of what's going on. And the third one was quite an interesting piece, where he was looking at feedback for courses, and his idea, rather than 15-20 questions, he had three basic questions. I think the 3 were, what word describes the training, good or bad, just literally one word to describe the training, and he reckons you get a lot of data from that. How confident are you with what you've learnt on a scale of 1 to 10? And then a more qualitative type question, why did you write that? So I thought very, very good. He reckons you can get lots and lots of data from that. Very, very simple. Also, his view was to make the questions voluntary. So that was this morning. I'll write up more detail about those things up in the blog up on Jive. Otherwise, I will see you in another vlog later this afternoon. Cheers.